So BC government, David Eby, believes in order to achieve more availability of homes to rent and affordability, David Eby is prioritizing the needs of or the well-being of one group over individual rights and freedoms. Now, I want to know what you think, but here's my question. Is it okay or is it justified to take away private property rights of owners who legally purchase transient zone properties, which we would know as Airbnb or short-term rental properties? So I have a clip that I want to share. I'm going to show it to BJ and get his reaction for it, but I want to know what you guys think. So leave your comments in the comment section below, and I can't wait for them. All right,
okay,
BJ.
let's go.
Have vacancy rates lower than 1%, we've got to make sure that people have a place to live, and they shouldn't be competing with people that are trying to turn long-term housing into hotel rooms. That's what we stand for. It's opposed by the other parties, but you know what? We're going to stand up for people looking for a place to live every single time.
Okay, let's get BJ's reaction from that video.
I'm a little speechless to start with, but if you give me a minute, I'm sure it's going to start rolling.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Which part?
We don't care if you're why you bought this property. We don't care about your rights of owning this property, that you spent your money or invested your money or made a risk to turn this into some kind of business venture. Don't care one bit.
Okay, let me defend Eby for a moment. Okay. Now, existing homes that you're allowed to do a home-based business in many municipalities across the province, using only a certain percentage of the business as your home-based business. This could be things like a short-term rental, a bed and breakfast. It could be your home office. Whatever is allowable in the local bylaws is already there. Now, if you bought a residential condo that does not have this zoning, you are operating illegally according to the zoning. Okay? If you used a full house that is not zoned as a hotel, then again, you are contravening the local bylaws and local zoning. So all of these properties have not been forcing the local bylaws and allowing illegal operations of these things. So
that's not what he's talking about.
This was existing
right
prior to May 1st with the provincial ban.
Right. This is not what he's talking about. Let's say I bought a unit in the Janyan. Okay.
Yes.
Part of my retirement plan is I'm going to supplement my retirement income with short-term rentals in the Janyan. I look at the Janyan, great option. The price is right. The units are just perfect for short-term rentals. I don't need a parking spot, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Wonderful.
It would work for whatever your situation is. Yes.
Now you're going to come to me. Big Brother is coming to me to say, here's how we want you to think. Here's the mind speak for you. And it's bad if you have something and somebody else doesn't. And so therefore we should penalize you for what you've done to have what you have.
Right, but these are red herrings.
You know, Margaret Thatcher said once, the problem with socialism is eventually you run out of other people's money.
Absolutely, because you can't tax your way into prosperity.
Nor can you make someone take their assets and sell them off.
Okay, so for example, you owned a farm and the zoning is agriculture, allowed farm use, and all of a sudden, because of some reason, like affordable housing, there's not enough land, there's not enough whatever, even though there's like 4 million square kilometers in Canada, approximately. No, 4 million? No, there's way more than that. It's probably like 40 million. I got the number wrong. Nonetheless, right? They're blaming housing affordability on all kinds of other things. Airbnb, speculators, foreign investment, money laundering.
Did we not take care of foreign investment 4 or 5 years ago?
Realtors, like just pick somebody, right? So, but I'm going to add some context to this. So in the past for Victoria, we've had buildings that are zoned, have this allowed zoning. Okay, so it's like the Janyan Era Falls, Astoria, Mermaid Wharf, Liesier, whatever it's called, Juliet, 595, Pandora, Union, Oriental, Corazon, Vogue, Citizen, Legato, Paladine, whatever. Monaco, the Soho, and 601 Herald. Okay, the history behind this is Victoria specifically approved transient zoning for these buildings and created this class of properties that to rejuvenate downtown. They were approved. They were not only approved, but encouraged, as many of the properties had sat vacant for decades. They were then subsequently advertised and sold as purpose-built short-term rentals by the developers. Oh yeah, so if you had a farm and all of a sudden you had to give up, you're not allowed to have a farm anymore because now we're going to build affordable housing on it. You bought with a purpose. This is your income.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the reason is. It's your income.
Yeah.
It's your business. It's your profit. It's your whatever livelihood. And they're taking away your livelihood.
Right.
If you were a farmer and now you couldn't farm that property, you had to give it up for micro homes or whatever invention they have.
Yeah.
So this, for me, my thoughts is the NDP, I don't care if it's the Liberals or if it's the NDP or if it's a history of bad policies. You know what? They are acting like the victim for the problem they created.
Sure.
Now, if you ever watch this movie that was made in 1940, it's called Gaslight.
I have not seen it.
And it's wonderful. It's black and white and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Who's in it?
I don't know. They're like it's in black and white. What do I know from 1940? It wasn't Charlie Chaplin, so I think he was all retired by then. And the husband plays games with the wife to drive her crazy because he's looking for like a secret treasure in the house that he believes was there.
Okay.
I won't tell you the whole story, right? But he does little tricks on her, and then he like blames her, and he scolds her and punishes her for things that he planted or took away or he done on purpose to like drive her mad.
Right.
So he has time to find this secret treasure that's in the house that he couldn't find before.
Right.
So, but the point is, like, they keep telling us all of these problems when really the solutions are out there. But we look at places as like Singapore or San Francisco, which, like we talked about in another video, 90% in Singapore is owned by the government, the land is, and San Francisco is an utter failure with zoning there anyways.
Yeah, it's one of the most expensive places to live, period.
Yeah, and they have other homelessness. They have all sorts of kind of problems that, you know, we have too, but on a different scale. You know, when they look at doing more government control, more red tape, when we know rent controls cause higher rents,
Yeah.
right? And then they have like tenant rights, highly taxed province. There's no incentive to build more rentals.
Yeah.
But they'll blame Airbnb. So what's Airbnb is like 1.68% of all households in BC
Yeah.
were identified by, what is it, CMHC or somebody like that they have potential of being a long-term housing, which is a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
You know, that's not going to help people save up for a down payment. It's not going to help people like increase their wages or help them with their discipline, with their budget for affording a home, right? So it doesn't incentivize speculators, because they're the ones who are looking to make a profit. They need incentive to build apartment buildings or condos or houses or townhouses to either rent back or sell to us. So the good thing about BC is the saving grace that we're in a beautiful place to live.
Yes, we are.
We are in the playground of Canada.
Yeah.
People will continue to come here despite the cost. What's that going to mean?
Well, it means everything's going to continue. The housing prices are going to continue to go up.
And there's going to be a bigger gap between people of the haves and the have-nots. So, I don't know if you want to add a little bit more.
Yeah, Big Brother will save us. Isn't his name David Eby?
That's the next movie I'm going to watch.
Did I say that out loud?
That's the next movie I'm going to watch. It's 1984 that was made. It's not the first one. They remade this a few times. It's a 1980 movie.
It was interesting on the weekend.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Really?
Yeah.
1984? I have Amazon Prime.
It's a 1981. It's their spin on it, whatever it is.
Interesting. I was at the bookstore with Rhea Marie on the weekend and happened to see a copy of 1984. So I was just flipping through it again. And I was like, wow. I was in junior high school when I had to read it as part of the curriculum. And
the movie is set in that time, but it's not. It doesn't follow the book.
got it.
Yeah, so it's the same idea.
But it's the same, the government's going to save us and they know better and they're going to control everything and then it'll be okay.
Right, because now with your short-term rentals, you have to register your business so they can keep track of you. And I'm sure it has a lot to do with Revenue Canada more than anything else at this point. Right, because I don't know, I don't have direct information. I bet you a lot of people were just accepting cash for short-term rentals and not claiming that.
Certainly a possibility.
Just like
It's possible.
allegedly, renters or landlords were not claiming income from rental properties. If you have like a rental suite.
Yeah.
In the past, allegedly. So, this is their way of controlling or at least monitoring everything that's they're trying to control here, I guess. So we want to know what you think. Do these short-term rental rules, are they going to achieve affordability?
Should we start shouting power to the proletariat?
Is Eby trampling on private property rights?
He sure is.
Well, I want to know what they think.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just telling you what I think, right? So we want to know.
Oh, we have opinions,
absolutely,
right?
We absolutely want to know what you think. Yeah.
Do you want to live in a 300 square foot Janyan or Era or Juliet? I know there's bigger ones in there, but
sure.
There's many of these
but with no
small
parking?
ones.
Yeah, with no parking.
Yeah, no parking because you're going to have an electric scooter now.
Yeah.
But you have to keep the battery outside so it doesn't catch on fire. Allegedly, I've only seen like one video of this happen. I don't know if that really happens.
Okay. You know what? Put it in the comments. We need to get out of here before we drive this
We've
thing.
already gone overboard.
Before we drive this thing right into the wall.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. Hope you got some good information out of that. Please take a minute and like and subscribe. It helps us out with getting the word out there. If you know anybody who you think needs to see what we're talking about, please let them know about it.
And of course, if you're thinking of buying or selling real estate in the Greater Victoria area or anywhere on Southern Vancouver Island, you can get a hold of us. Our information is in the description below and we'd be happy to help you. Thank you so much for watching and we'll catch you in the next video.
See ya.